Hi there, everyone. This is Magenta Pixie speaking. And today I have been working with this Oracle deck. It's the Lemurian Starchild Oracle deck for a global and galactic reading, utilizing the Oracle card as a focus for connection and communication with my guidance system, the White-Winged Collective Consciousness of 9. Now, I have already done this reading in private and pulled these cards. I'm now going to go through each card, the question related to each card, and what the 9 had to say about the question in context with the card that has been pulled for that question. So just to talk a little bit about this Oracle deck, I had the absolute pleasure of meeting the Lemurian Starchild on a recent trip to Avalon, as in Glastonbury, Somerset, United Kingdom. Their names are Michael and Leanne. They're both healers, they're both writers and artists, and they channel energies from both Lemuria and the Pleiades. Well, these domains, Lemuria and the Pleiades, or aspects of reality, epochs, planetary systems, are both very dear to my heart, as I'm sure they also are to your heart. So the Lemurian Starchild, which is the two of them, Michael and Leanne, they created the text and the art of this Lemurian Starchild Oracle card deck. So I purchased the pocket deck and I'm very, very happy with it. It's so beautiful. It comprises of 88 cards, all original artwork by Lemurian Starchild. I'm also aware of the potency and the power within the creational template being used when you've actually met and connected with the artist and the author. So I was very drawn to purchasing a deck from them to work with. However, you don't have to meet the artists in order to use the deck and access its inspiration and magic, and to use it as a focus in however you want to use it for creativity, writing, your own artwork, or, like me, as a focus for higher dimensional information and connection with my guidance system, the 9. So I was really surprised, actually, as to how much in alignment each card I pulled was to the question being asked, all except perhaps one, but the 9 do explain that. Altogether, I pulled 7 cards. Listening to the guidance of the 9 and going with my own intuition when I'm choosing the patterns to shuffle the deck and then pick the aligned card. So the first question I asked is about the elements. The 9 have spoken to me much about the elements being utilized and coming to the fore within the planetary ascension. They started talking to me about this quite a while ago, but specifically in 2020, the elements of earth, air, fire, and water, not only are they used in the ascension process, obviously, as they're the elements for this planet, but also as structures, they are utilized by the overlords in the novel that we're all writing together as a focus or a tool for their own agenda. I'm not going to go into that too much. That's been spoken about already. But these elements, earth, air, fire, and water, are really coming up now for the collective to process and understand what they mean. The 9 have also spoken to me regarding the 5th element. Now, I recently shared a transmission from 3 years ago. I shared this on my social media, and I re-uploaded actually to my alternative media. But you can find this video here on my YouTube channel. It's called 5th Element Monad Decoded, Gaia Grid Dreamtime. So that's 5th Element Monad Decoded, Gaia Grid Dreamtime. This transmission presents the current Earth playout, the plan at the 3rd dimensional level, and the multidimensional level as to what's occurring in our reality and on our planet right now. If you can hear some dogs barking in the background, I do apologize. That's my neighbour's dogs. She's got 3 gorgeous dogs, and they get very excited when she is getting ready to take them out for a walk, and they bark and bark and bark. I'm not sure if their barking is picked up by my microphone or not, but I do apologize. They're ever so sweet, really. They just sound really loud. Anyway, the 9 also spoke of the 5th element in a recent transmission that I delivered for the Portal to Ascension Glastonbury conference held in Glastonbury last weekend. And my presentation was entitled The Dragons of Aurora. And the 9 spoke about the 5th element for that transmission. In fact, this is where I met Lemurian Starchild. I met them in Glastonbury at the Portal to Ascension conference, as they were also presenters. It was a 3-day conference, and so I met the other presenters. Well, these magical and destined meetings are not by accident, and it's very much an alignment for me, therefore, to use their oracle deck for this reading and this transmission. So I have the first 5 cards here. I pulled 7 all together. The first 5, 1 for each element: earth, air, fire, and water. And then the 5th card for the 5th element, that of ether, or the awake and aware collective consciousness, the Aurora network, or those that together create the divine Princess Aurora at group soul or sub-logos level. This is what we know as ether. This is what the 9 are telling me. Ether is the collective consciousness of awakened individuals within that planet. The 9 spoke to me also about the relevance of the dragon and the dragon rider here, as in the archetypes and flame letter images that we can all identify with as instructional sets for DNA configuration or reconfiguration. So the dragon, as in earth, the dragon's tail, that which grounds and balances the structure; air, the dragon's wings, allowing for heavenly flight; fire, the dragon's head and the dragon's breath, the breath of fire or the eternal flame creation; water, the dragon's torso or heart, the element of emotion, the consciousness of movement and wave. And the 5th element is the dragon rider. That's you. That's me, that's us, your consciousness, our consciousness together when unified, when coherent and cohesive. This is the collective consciousness, and this is ether. Now, ether does encompass more than that, because it's part of planetary systems where there might not be a collective consciousness in the way that we have it here on Earth. So there's more to say about ether, but specific to planet Earth, the ether is the collective consciousness. It's one and the same thing. After those 5 cards, I then asked the 9 about this new energy that they've been talking to me about the last 3 days now. I woke up about 3 days ago and they were talking to me as soon as I opened my eyes. So I wanted to ask them more about this new energy. They're saying it's a frequency, it has a tone, a geometric structure, and a color. All new energy, new frequency, new tone, new geometric structure, new color. It's coming into our collective reality now as an antidote to dark agenda and as a frequency code for healing. So the healers are being called, and they will be downloading this new code. And I would imagine, if what the 9 are saying is correct, that many healers right now are picking up something new that's coming in, however they may perceive it. So it could be a new color, a new code, a new shape, a new geometry, a new word, something new. And the healers, these will be all healers, healers of individuals, healers of animals, but specifically, this is a calling for those that are healing the planetary structure and the planetary formation. Those that are being called to use this frequency or this color or this code, they are guardians of the stargates, known as planetary grid workers. All grid workers are being called right now. Earth healers, light workers who work with healing, whether that's healing of structure, animal, flora and fauna, human beings, healing for the self, or healing as in the grids and the guardians of the stargates. These are people that have had this role passed down to them from generations, and they've held these knowings, these secrets, like keepers of the flame, key holders, if you will. They will have certain names within their family or their tribe or their clairvoyant etheric memory, however that's coming to them. So these are planetary grid workers, but this new code is also for galactic alignment and for the galactic grid workers. So the galactic grid workers are also being called, and these are many, many, many starseeds who are doing this work. So I wanted to know more about this code, this color, this new frequency, this structure, utilizing the Lemurian Starchild Oracle deck as the focus. So that was my 6th question to them. What is this code in context with the drawing of a card from this deck? The final question I asked them is regarding something they said in one of the recent Lionsgate transmissions. So this is what they said. They said, incoming wave is a convergence, meaning that it has multiple meanings. The first is that which you may know as superwave. This is coming towards your dimension, not towards your planet in a physical sense. It's important to hold that distinction, even though your planet is, from one perspective, one and the same as dimension. The distinction holds import for you as the superwave is not physical in the sense that it is interpreted as. The superwave of plasma, light, and sound will merge with your dimensional field. This may be interpreted by those of you with scientific minds as antimatter meeting matter. This results in a crash, if you will, of matter. Yet, as we have said, this is not physical per se. This simply changes energetic wave patterns or geometries that are manifestation templates, eventually, in linear time, transforming matter. We may call this a Terra Firma template. So this transmission, that's just part of a transmission that came forward leading up to the Lion's Gate. There were several transmissions leading up to the Lion's Gate. This was part of one of them. So my question here is not about the superwave necessarily. It's about the Terra Firma template. What exactly is the Terra Firma template? That was my question to the 9 in context of the drawing of a card from the Lemurian Starchild Oracle, knowing that synchronicity led me to meeting the Lemurian Starchild, the couple. Synchronicity led me to this Oracle deck. I did not go to Glastonbury with the express reason of meeting Lemurian Starchild or purchasing an Oracle deck. I had no intention of purchasing an Oracle deck, but I was a speaker at the Portal to Ascension Glastonbury conference event. So were Lemurian Starchild. And then I happened to discover that they were channels and artists. And then I discovered their deck. And I knew instantly that I had to purchase a deck. So these were my questions. So I'm now going to turn to the reading of the 7 cards pulled and present the transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9. So the first card pulled was for Earth. How can the 9 explain Earth in this context of elements? And the card I pulled, quite by chance, quite by synchronicity, in my own way that I work with the cards, which I did privately, the card pulled was Divine Cosmic Mother Womb. So here it is. There. Divine Cosmic Mother Womb. So here's the Nine's response, their transmission regarding this card. So we're looking at Earth in the context of this card, Divine Cosmic Mother Womb. Here's the Nine's transmission in the context of those two things. So not Earth as an element per se, Earth as an element in relation to the card pulled. And this is what they said. The Earth you know as planetary home is indeed the divine cosmic mother womb. For Earth as feminine planetary sphere template is the great mother or beloved mother, nurturing all who stand upon her, who exist upon her, who breathe upon her. It is into the arms of the divine cosmic mother that you are incarnated and birthed from the womb, the place of your creation. The flame letter artistry upon the card depicts the incarnational spiral, flowing outwards as creational template through divine feminine structures. The divine cosmic mother, enveloped in the light of the sun and stars overhead as creational light. To her you give yourself, for she will nurture you all your days. You are called as her guardians, protectors, and healers at this time, as so too is she yours. This is that which is meant by Earth in the context of the elements within the time-space construct that you, our conduit, Magenta Pixie, held the cohesive thought or asked the question. Okay. So the second card was pulled for air. How can the Nine explain air in the context of utilization of the elements? And the card pulled was nurture. So here is the Nine's response within a transmission regarding this card in response to air, regarding this card nurture. This is what the Nine had to say. Nurture through air is the breath, the oxygen, the life-giving prana. The goddess depicted in the flame letter artwork, surrounded by the cosmic roses as galactic stargates or vortices, holds Earth within her own rose as the core structure, surrounded by the white winged ones of the stars, holding the galactic light templates that surround you within the air that you breathe. The wings give flight, so you may move through the air as the bird. For indeed, are you not the return of the bird tribes? The red for the rose is the blood of the organic one, the breath giving life and oxygen to that blood, so you may remain within your physical vehicle, walk the path, and fulfill the mission. The air is that which nurtures, for it is the breath of life, and thus the life of consciousness. Okay, so the third card pulled is for fire. And this one is the one that surprised me, as it didn't seem to quite fit like the other two cards. So this card was pulled for fire, and I'm asking the Nine, how can they explain fire in the context of utilization of elements? And this is the card pulled, Tree of Life. So you might be able to see perhaps why I thought that didn't kind of match. How does fire respond to the Tree of Life? So this is the Nine's response to this as a transmission. looking at fire as an element in the context of this card, the Tree of Life. So here is what the 9 had to say. The Tree of Life is the template or pattern for all creation. Fire, as the dragon's breath, is the substance of the morphogenetic field, the memory library where all that has ever happened, all that could ever happen, and all that will ever happen is stored. All that is happening now is creation itself, and the substance is plasma. The fire within the physical is the third dimensional presentation of plasma, which is the very fabric of creation itself. The card depicts the light streams as part of the cosmic unity web that connects all things and all life. It is the light of creation, moving into the ground beneath you as the roots of the tree, and above you into the skies as the leaves and branches. The Tree of Life is all things, the template for reality within matter and antimatter. It is the divine architecture, and it is the Starseed template. Tree of Life is creation through plasma, and thus is depicted within the third dimension as fire. The flame is the symbol, the visual presentation as the pre-matter template or instructional set for DNA reconfiguration in ancient, original, yet new and unknown form. This is both creation and created. The dragon's breath creates the ring of fire, the stargate that is your portal of, for, and to ascension itself. Okay, so that's the Tree of Life for fire. Now, the 4th card pulled was for water. How can the 9 explain water in the context of utilization of elements? And the card pulled was flow. I could not believe the accuracy and alignment of this card specific to water. Here is the 9's transmission regarding this card in response to water, the element. Water is indeed the depiction of flow, of that which moves within the current. One can move against current and against flow, but to move within the awareness of enlightenment, self-realization, mastery, and Stargate ascension, one moves predominantly within flow, turning against the current only at select times with purpose and with focus. The flow is the time stream. The flow is the rhythm and the movement of the God source Christed self. The card, as flame letter, depicts the flowing current along the rocks into the rock pools, and the crescendo of flow as flashes of creational inspiration, moving into the skies as it falls into the structure beyond the rock pool. The 4 elements are thus unified when they are seen in their entirety. They are at one, for they cannot operate without other. Hence why we spake of the dragon being the tetramorphic being, just as the elements of earth, air, fire, and water are tetramorphic. Okay, so that's flow for water. Now, the 5th card pulled was the 5th element. How can the 9 explain the 5th element in the context of utilization of elements? So the card pulled was, no, that's incorrect. I'm so sorry. That is not the right card. The card pulled for that one was multi-dimensional. You now know the card for the next question. Okay, the card pulled was multi-dimensional. This is 5th element. Again, so accurate. So here is the nine's transmission regarding this card in response to the fifth element. The fifth element is self, yet self-realized and unified with other selves, standing as the sub-logos or logos group soul as a unified memory complex at social structure level. As in the aware collective consciousness of humanity, creating sub-logos structure, such as the Divine Princess Aurora or Archangel Michael, or indeed, should we say, Michael, Christ, Michael, Christed Michael, the presentation of the etheric consciousness. This is multidimensional, for it is the human incarnate soul in complete unification with the higher dimensional Christed antimatter aspect. Within the flame letter presentation of the dragon, this is the dragon rider. The card depicts the human template in shades of blue, the indigo, the blue ray, the turquoise, or the aqua. Within the depiction is the multiple and the myriad as form through the sixth dimensional dolphin, the feline of Lyra and Sirius, and the incarnational spiral drawing the soul into incarnation. Multidimensional is indeed the fifth element, for it is the construct of the tetramorphic. All earthly elements melded, merged, and married within fusion, creating the fifth element. That is, of course, you, the awake and aware starseed, the dragon rider, the ascending soul, hence the human template depicted within the card. So the sixth card pulled was in response to the question about this new energy frequency code, this new tone or color as a healing hieroglyph or visual structure. So how can the nine explain this new frequency? And I already showed this card earlier by mistake. It is Arcturus. So how can the nine explain this new frequency within the context of the card pulled, which is Arcturus? So here's the nine's transmission regarding this card in response to the question and the card. That which we speak of is a new geometric structure. The energetic frequency is Arcturian. One could say the broadcast is Arcturian, hence you're drawing the card. The structure depicted upon the card is a fractal flower of life geometry, holding the structure of all and everything within it. It is the event horizon as boundary to all the worlds and all the creations. It is an infinite structure as a unified infinity. Circles within circles, worlds within worlds, wheels within wheels. Yet the core broadcast, the diamond sun light crystalline core, beams its light down to the receptive human receiver and transducer through third eye energy center processing, organic technology within. The templates are thus given to the guardians of stargates and rose vortices within the land, and the grid workers for planet, plane, globe, galaxy, and universe. The structure is a new knowledge, a multidimensional knowledge as you stand as the fifth element. The card depicts the higher self, the all-knowing pure God source self, behind, within, through, and of the physical self. The DNA sequence as wave or ribbon runs through the artwork depicted as flame letter through the card of this oracle. This card is the Arcturian Oracle. Use it wisely, for it shows you all and everything. So there's a little clue there from the nine that they're not saying. So I'm going to just hold this card a little bit closer. The card is the Arcturian Oracle. They're actually saying this card is presenting an oracle in and of itself. And it shows you all and everything. So that is showing you all and everything, according to the nine. Right, okay, so the seventh and final card was pulled in response to the question about the Terra Firma template. What is this? Can the 9 give more information on this within the context of the card pulled? Now, this card pulled is really sweet. It's called Dolphin Baby. There you go, Dolphin Baby. So yeah, I mean, can the 9 give more information about the Terra Firma template in the context of this card, Dolphin Baby? So here's the 9's transmission regarding this card in response to my asking regarding the Terra Firma template. Before I pass over to the 9, I'd just like to say thank you ever so much for listening, and thank you so much to Lemurian Starchild for this wonderful oracle deck. Okay, I am now passing over to the 9. This card within the oracle deck as flame letter, channeled creations from those that are called Lemurian Starchild, aligned creative presentation, that of Dolphin Baby, draws all cards together as one. 7 cards: earth, air, fire, water, 5th element, new Arcturian structure, and terra firma template. You are called, beloved starseeds. You are called. For now is the time for the restructuring of the Gaia Terra Earther grid into the 5th dimensional and beyond frequency we call the new Hyperborea, the new Earth, or the new Lemuria. This crash of matter we spake of simply changes energetic wave patterns or geometries that are manifestation templates in linear time, eventually transforming matter. We may call this a terra firma template. This is the new Arcturian structure given to all those receptive. Those receptive are the holders of the flame of the 5th element. Together they are the 5th element, each holding dominion over the elements when in pure surrender, humility and service through the higher heart to the light. The card presented from the oracle, Dolphin Baby, is the return to the living Lemuria, the walking of the Lemurian way. The sun overhead is the diamond solar template through Sol, the physical sun, so much brighter and all-consuming, delivering the knowledge of light through its consistent rays and constant flashes. This you returneth to. The child in the depiction is the child of the sun, of the stars, the Starchild, under the sun, walking upon the land, but so too living in the water as the dolphin. The young dolphin as Dolphin Baby is the symbol of the new terra firma, which is the template you create with your consciousness as the memory complex for Earth into the new Lemuria. For it is the return to Lemuria with the newfound knowledge carried as key codes within. Each depiction within the oracle deck, Lemurian Starchild, depicts the journey of the Lemurian Starchild in and of themselves. And this is the journey of each and every one of you. You are each the child of the stars. You are each the child of the sun, each holding the codes from Lemuria into the new living Lemuria. The Arcturian structure is given through the etheric rays, through solar streams, and the receptive hold the codes for terra firma, the genesis of creation. That which is taken from you will be given back in far more beauty and glory than can be imagined. That which is demolished, cleansed, and wiped away shall be reconstructed and rebuilt in the finest splendor that the eye ever did see. and that which is hidden from view shall be seen clearer than ever before. This is the template you create with your collective consciousness. This is the world you rebuild and the architecture you design and construct. The earth is the mother womb of creation. The air is the nurturing breath of life. The fire is the tree of life, infinite creational structure of memory and knowing. The water is the flow of the time stream. Together, as tetramorphic structure, their unified fusion creates the fifth element, the consciousness of the awakened, cohesive, loving minds and hearts as the ether, the magic, the power, tamer and rider of the majestic dragon. The new Arcturian structure is presented to all the keepers of the stargates, guardians of the crystal rivers, light workers of the grids, and dragon lines of the earth and galaxy, all called now to utilize this new Arcturian structure to terraform Gaia into the Lemurian stronghold. The dolphin and the child of the stars, presenting the geometries for the highest love and purity. This is your calling. This is your creation. This is your mission. And this is your destiny. We are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9,